Did you know that you can make a Greek-style reuteri yogurt? Or for that matter, any yogurt. But this is how I do it. And why do this in the first place? Well, besides getting a thicker, richer end result, one of the advantages is that you get rid of or you minimize the whey. Recall that there's two parts to this yogurt. There's the curds, the solids, and the whey, the watery liquid. Now, whey, for some people, perhaps about 20% of people, crudely estimated, have susceptibility to what is called the insulinotropic effect of the whey. That is, as you know, carbohydrates and sugars are the foods that trigger insulin and thereby weight gain. But there are occasional proteins that do that also, and whey is among the few proteins that also triggers insulin. For some people, not everyone, but for some people, an occasional person, they'll say something like this: when I get exposed to the whey protein, it blocks weight loss or causes me to gain a few pounds. So while this is only in a minority, if you think that effect applies to you, one of the options you have is to drain off the whey. We do that by making Greek yogurt. You can just pour off the whey also. It's not quite as thorough, but that also helps. But this is how to make Greek-style yogurt, by draining the whey. You'll need some sort of setup that allows the whey to drain. On the left, you can see a device that I received with a yogurt maker I bought some time back. And just a little basket that has a screen that allows the whey to escape. Now, I find it helps to put this in a bowl, but also put something underneath the device. In this case, I used a little ramekin to elevate the device so that it's easier for the whey to drain. If the device sits right in the whey, it's harder for the whey to drain. So elevate it if you can. And then you're going to pour the yogurt into the device, cover it, and cover the entire thing with saran wrap or some other device. On the right, you see another way to do it. And this is a colander. I'm going to put the colander in a big bowl. Once again, you can elevate it if you want to with a ramekin or something else. Line the colander with a coffee filter or cheesecloth or something else porous, finely porous. Then pour your yogurt into the coffee filter colander and then place that apparatus in your bowl. Cover once again. Now let the entire apparatus sit for about 4 hours or until it achieves the thickness that you desire. Here's what you should have after those 4 hours. You're going to have whey at the bottom and then the curds in your device. You can do what you want with the whey. Some people discard it. Some people save it as ice cubes and freeze them and then use a couple of ice cubes as a starter to make your next batch of yogurt, but it's your choice. And here's the typical end result: thick and rich, minus all the whey. Well, there you have it. It's a very easy process, and you get this rich, thick end product with minimal whey. Now, you have another thing you can do. If you want to get a delicious spreadable cheese out of it, just let it sit another 20 or so hours, so 24 hours total or so. And use your judgment, of course. Always check the texture and see if it needs to go a little further. But for me, 24 hours has worked and yielded a very delicious spreadable cheese that you can spread on, say, some grain-free crackers or some sliced celery or carrots or cucumbers. So it's a lot of fun. So another option you have: drain it further, another several hours, and you'll get this beautiful spreadable cheese.